What is up, F and True followers and wrestling fans? You are watching the F brand of wrestling and entertainment here on YouTube.com. My name is JC Styles, and I am back with the Monday Night Raw review for May 6, 2013. Have to say, tonight's Raw really was uneventful. Didn't really enjoy it, but I wanted to give you guys my thoughts and let you know what happened, so you guys have something to watch in case you weren't able to tune into the show. We start off the show, we see a video highlights package of last week's main event on Raw, with Sheamus walking out on John Cena. We then see the events that unfolded after the match concluded, where we see the Shield attack John Cena and Ryback standing on the stage. So lo and behold, we start off the night with John Cena comes out and starts talking about what's going on, being champion, blah blah blah. He does his whole new routine, really plays the crowd and works with the crowd, typical Cena fashion. Then Vicky Guerrero comes out and talks about the WWE Championship match at Extreme Rules. She says it wouldn't be fair to name the stipulation without the consent of both participants. So Ryback comes out. Cena starts to rank on Ryback. Ryback just stands there. Then Ryback gets in a few good words, and then after the back and forth, we find out that the match between John Cena and Ryback at Extreme Rules for the WWE Championship will be a last man standings match. We then come back for commercial and we find out tweets from Heyman and Lesnar from WWE headquarters. We then see Randy Orton pick up the win over Damian Sandow. Match wasn't great. I stated this in my epic discussion of the current state of WWE that Randy Orton is really getting too robotic and is really getting too predictable in the ring again. And I also stated that, he used to be so good as the Legend Killer and as he, early on in his career. And he still has those matches that really stand out, but just this wasn't one of them tonight. Post-match, as Orton is walking up the stage, Big Show comes out and knocks Randy Orton out with a WMD. We then come back from commercial break. Chris Jericho comes out. We find out that Fandango is going to be up next, and Jericho brings out Tons of Funk to be the official judges of the match. R-Truth then picks up the win over Fandango in a count-out. And, I don't like what they're doing with the Fandango character. I think that they really could be pushing him hard. Yeah, they're really doing some good things with him, but they need to really start selling him more as a wrestler and not as a guy who just really doesn't want to be out there and he just wants to dance. They really need to start pushing his in-ring ability as a wrestler more. Don't take me wrong. Fandango, aka Johnny Curtis, has a really great in-ring performer, but this character doesn't really shine as much as it should, and they need to try to maybe incorporate some of Johnny Curtis into this character than him just going out there and being all Fandango the whole entire time. We then see a video package of the Shield attacking Daniel Bryan from Friday night on SmackDown. Backstage segment with Daniel Bryan issuing a challenge to Ryback for what he did last week and not showing up in his match. Then Ryback comes into the picture and has some words and says that I want you when you're 100%, and I want you, but I'm not going to hurt you tonight. So then Kane steps in the picture to protect Daniel Bryan and says, how about you get in the ring with me? Then we wind up finding out later in the night that we'll see Kane and Ryback in the main event. We then see Alberto Del Rio come out. We come back from a commercial. We find out, like I said, we'll see Kane and Ryback later in the main event. Alberto Del Rio versus Dolph Ziggler was actually pretty good. This was actually probably the only match that I really liked of the whole show. This one really was good, really sold. It really added to the triple threat. They're really focusing a lot more in the triple threat World Heavyweight title ladder match than they are in the actual WWE Championship match. And it's really a shame that the triple threat ladder match looks like it's going to be a hell of a lot better than the WWE Championship match. But I really don't want to say that tonight's show was sucked, because even though it says it in the title, it was a decent show. But they need to stay away from. We didn't need to hear about friggin' Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar 1,000 times in one night. And then they had a 10-minute video of him destroying Triple H's office, which we didn't need to see that. Then we had another 10-minute promo of Paul Heyman, who says he was going to go extreme. But we'll get to that in moments. This match ended in a DQ when Swagger, who was sitting out at the commentary table, got involved and attacked Del Rio and Ziggler with the ladder. We then see Caitlyn, Funkadactyls, Kali, and Natalia backstage, and Caitlyn's talking about her secret admirer and how he totally gets her Simpsons fetish or addiction or something like that. Then Natalia says that she's going to send the great Kali into the men's locker room to be a spy to try to get information on who the secret admirer is. We then see the Shield come out and we find out that they're going to be facing Kofi Kingston and the Usos, Jimmy and Jay. Match was pretty good. I think that they should have went a different route with this, and they should have had the Shield face some more competitive opponents. But, I mean, pretty much they're running through every three-man team that they could probably possibly put together at this point. I'm really liking the Shield. I'm really liking what they're doing. I like the fact is that they're building up the Shield towards Extreme Rules against Kane and Daniel Bryan. I'm wondering if it's going to be a 3-on-2 handicap match, or is it going to be a strictly 2-on-2 tag team match? And if so, who is going to be the two from the Shield to face Team Hell No at Extreme Rules? I'm hoping for Ambrose and Reigns. There's a lot of information going around the net that it might be Reigns and Rollins, or it might be Rollins and Ambrose. So we'll have to see what happens. We then go into Antonio Cesaro defeating Zack Ryder. I really don't like what they're doing with Cesaro, and I really don't like what they're doing with Zack Ryder. They're really just sweeping these guys under the rug now. Antonio Cesaro had a really good match last week for a rematch for the United States Championship at main event against Kofi Kingston, and then that's pretty much all we saw, and they're really burying Cesaro now, and they're really, completely burying Zack Ryder, and Zack Ryder's refused to spike his hair, wear the bandana, his merchandise to the ring, and, I think he said something about on his show that he's going to start spiking his hair again when he starts winning matches. So, I don't know about that. Then we see the Paul Heyman, Brock Lesnar segment. Then Triple H winds up coming out and says that, you talk about taking things to the extreme. And he says, I innovated this extreme. Talked about forming DX. Talked about single-handedly going through the entire Attitude Era roster with an iron fist. And he should have actually bought up when he had Rikishi run down Stone Cold Steve Austin, which I think, we can't recall that far back if Triple H actually fessed up to being the one that ran down Austin and just had Rikishi take the fall for it for a little bit. But yeah, like I said, and then that, really, really just escalated further, and nothing really amounted to anything in that segment. We then see Sheamus versus Wade Barrett. This actually started beforehand, where Mark Henry and Sheamus exchanged words. They showed the tug-of-war match that they had a few weeks ago on SmackDown, then the arm wrestling contest they had. Then Wade Barrett comes out, and these guys start to fight, and then we wind up going into Sheamus versus Wade Barrett, which was originally supposed to be taking place. Sheamus defeated Wade Barrett. Post-match, we see Mark Henry get involved and beat down on Sheamus with a leather belt. And in the main event, which was actually pretty decent, given it felt like it was thrown together real quick, Ryback defeated Kane, and then the Shield came out, and Daniel Bryan come running out. Ryback went off to the side. Then Cena come running out, and this was all just a ploy. Ryback grabbed the steel chair, cleared the apron of the Shield. Daniel Bryan went through the ropes, suicide dive. Then Cena went to go hit the AA, and he got a steel chair from Ryback in the gut, and then Ryback wore Cena down with the chair to end the night. Now, a couple of good things happened tonight. Like, I'm not going to lie. It was decent, but it didn't feel like how it was a few weeks back. It feels like since WrestleMania, the night after WrestleMania, WWE has really lost their flame. And which is a shame, because this time last year we had tremendous build-up going to Extreme Rules. We had tremendous building up going up to Extreme Rules and then going into the following pay-per-view. So, guys, Please leave your comments in the comment box below. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on what you thought of Monday Night Raw, what you would have liked to have seen different, and what match you would like to have seen change. For the Efren brand of wrestling and entertainment, my name is JC Styles, and I will catch you later.